me. So how y'all doing? I just wanted to stop in and say hello. I missed you guys yesterday. We had a dinner celebration for no. Um Yesterday we had a it was Wednesday night. We had so much going on yesterday. I'm gonna tell you, it was really busy yesterday. We had dinner at the restaurant for our supervisor who's being sent away. Yeah. So now they expect me to do all this work. No, honestly, there's another lady that's stepping in, but I am the um alternate. I am actually. She's going to run the center, but I'm going to be the team lead at the center. So that's good. This you caught me. I didn't realize what time it was. I built the show, but I had this sitting out, and I didn't want it to be. I don't want to put it back in the freezer because then it get you know what I'm saying. It has that icy ice taste to it, and then I wouldn't like it, and it costs too much. These are these little Talente lemon, the little lemon bars, like a sorbet, but no milk and stuff in it. They are so good. But I didn't. It had already started. Well, you can still see some of the ice, but it's actually that's just how it is. It's actually soft and real soft. Um, and I didn't want to put it back in the freezer, and then that way it get frozen. But it is so good, and I didn't realize what time it was after I built the show. Then I noticed, oh my god, it's time to start the show after I opened it. Uh, but thanks for joining me today. Today is Thursday, March 13th. As a matter of fact, hold on 1 second. I was missing. I am so chillaxing today. Oh, here it is. I am so chillaxing today. And the reason is because we've been working our butts off. Baby, listen, a sister needed to relax. I took a walk after work today with a girlfriend of mine. We went and took a walk, and it was a good walk because you didn't even realize how hilly it was, or that pull that uphill until you came back, because we just walking and talking and just enjoying the sun, what was left of it, and moving down, and you didn't even realize you were going downhill because it didn't take you downhill like a normal downhill, a slope will take you down. You know how it makes you go a little faster, but it didn't do that because it didn't seem like that until we came back. Excuse me, till we came back. When we came back, that's when you can feel that pull on the back of the legs and everything. It was a really good walk. It really was. Baby, and I came in here and I did a few things. I just cut my watermelon up. I'm getting ready to juice me a watermelon. And for in the morning, that's my breakfast in the morning. Watermelon. Love it. And some toast. Sourdough toast. I came back in here and I washed my watermelon. I made a 7-layer salad. We had a celebration today at the office for lunch, just because she's leaving. She's leaving in the morning. So she won't be with us tomorrow. So I made a 7-layer salad, and they ordered some fried chicken. We ordered some fried chicken from this restaurant here, and it was good. The chicken was good. It didn't have all that flour and crap all on it. It was really good. It was like a broasted, because it ain't oily, none of that. So it's like that broasted chicken. It was very good. It really was. It not heavily seasoned, but it was flavorful. But I love that crisp to it. And it's not oily, none of that grease and stuff, because when you broast it, you don't use all that oil and crap. But and so we had a great lunch today, but I got here and I brought some of that 7-layer salad back. And just a little bit. It wasn't a lot left, trust me. But I doled some of it out again. I gave one of the girlfriends one, and one of my coworkers some. Another one wants some. I already got my bowl in there. I'm finna eat after the show. And that's gonna be it. Um, because that salad is so good. You know, a 7-layer salad, that sucker was delicious. I did put a boiled egg, organic, free range boiled egg on it. I sliced it and put it on there on top of salad, just to add a little something different to it. You're right, but it's loaded with peas and celery. It's really good. It's really good. And everybody keep trying to get that recipe, but I keep telling them I can't give you it. I can't give you the salad dressing recipe. It's too many people. It's a family recipe. I can't get that out. Yeah, so try something else. This is how I go because it's used in a restaurant, mm, 2 restaurants, and then mine. When I do my food things, because I make them small, I make the 7-layer salads in a small container for sale. So I just can't. So that's 3 right there. Um, it's been in the family a long time and very good. I mean, a long time. I was a little big girl. My mom was making that salad, and everybody in the family. So it's unfortunate, but that's how it goes. These talentes are very good, absolutely delicious. But let me tell you about something here. I witnessed the other day. I told you about Wendy Williams. We were briefly talked about Wendy Williams and how she dropped a note out of the window and said, "Help me." And the ambulance came and got her. And she's in this luxurious place that's $18,000 a month. First of all, I think that's ridiculous that they're spending that kind of money for that. But then again, that is New York. You think Chicago expensive? New York will break you. And I'm gonna tell you something. Some of the smallest apartments, they call them condo, it's some of the smallest apartments I've ever seen for the price that they want for them. Cute, but not worth that money. And then you know the cost of real estate, a house and all, including a condo, it is ridiculous. Even though they said it has dropped within the last few days considerably, really the housing market mortgages, but it still is expensive, especially when you got a lot of people that have uncertainty about whether or not they're going to be working in certain, it's expensive, so um, it's best to plan for something like that. But back to Wendy Williams. So she dropped the letter out the window, right? Somebody found it. They called somebody walking down the street, found it, saw it, and they called. And an ambulance, they didn't call the police, they called an ambulance. And I like that they called the ambulance services to come and get her instead of calling the police. But the police did get involved because she had to be removed out of this place, which is her place, her home. But she's under conservatorship. So there's somebody that's watching over her. And she says she don't need that. She went and ate at an Italian restaurant with her niece. They were there for 3 hours. Or cousin, something like that. I think it was a niece or cousin. And they were there for 3 hours. And no alcohol did she have. Of course, y'all know when you do her eyes like that, they so big, it looked like she, you know how you look crazy or something like your eyeball coming out. But she had that look for a minute. And I'm like, oh Lord, I hope she's okay. Because I don't like, I know she didn't talk about people like a dog and dog people out and all that good stuff. But she had a job. And person gotta live. And you know how they always have made us to make ourselves and make our other people look crazy, right? Just to get some money. And not only that, She's married. She has a son, and her husband um, messed around on her, or whatever, had an affair, then had an affair, and I think she had to pay alimony for him. So that was a big heat because remember she had that little riff with well, actually, let me stop. It wasn't a riff with Tabitha Brown because Tabitha didn't argue. They didn't argue. She told Tabitha in such a nasty way, well, he's gonna mess around on you because they all do it, no, something like that. Because Tabitha, like, she retired her husband and all of that. It was just a big crap going on about that, her and her husband and all that. And Tabitha replied um, and told her, in such a very nice way, well, maybe, that might have been your fate, but, that's not going to be my fate. And it was in such a nice way. And she didn't talk about her or anything and make her feel bad or anything. And, she felt it was like more like, hmm, I wonder if this sister's hurting. I wonder why she come off at me like this, because I ain't never done nothing to her. I mean, wow, and it was that type of compassion from Wendy, from Tabitha Brown. And time has gone on, and now Wendy was on her show still when that happened. And then time has gone on now. Now Wendy's been taken off the show. She had a couple of episodes, and also they're saying that she has dementia. Well, I forget a lot of shit myself. I can't see her having dementia because she was saying, "Listen, I just come from the hospital. I'm in the hospital. I just come from the hospital," and she passed her mental test. The little thing. Well, who's the president? What's your birthday? Where were you born? What have you done? Stuff like that. They ask you all those questions to see if you alert and aware. But she passed it. She hasn't been drinking. Now I know she's trying to come up from under that conservatorship. Someone watching over her and taking all her damn money because that's what that's all about. They're taking money because if you have a conservative, that means they got to get paid for that. And because of who you are and how they have to deal with you and the public and everything else, that's a good penny. So that's even more of her money being eaten up on top of that $18,000 a month condo apartment she's in. Um, and I said, wow, this is crazy. I just my heart goes out to her. It really does because you just never know what a person is dealing with mentally, spiritually, emotionally. You don't know how things affect other people. And because we're all different. We're all electric beings too. And who's to say that electricity, that flow that's going through us, who's to say that there's not one neuron or something that's dying out? You know what I'm saying? That connection is breaking, you know, or is failing in one part and it's not pushing enough to the other, you know what I'm saying? And so I do feel for Wendy and what is going on with her. I don't like to see the demise of people. I don't give a damn if she talked about people. I wouldn't give a damn if she had talked about me. And I'm like, we go around, come around. I ain't no the hell with that. Even though what goes around sometimes do come around, it might not come around in the way that it went around from you, that it came out of you, but it's gonna come back to you in some, yeah, it's gonna come back to you in some kind of way or another. But I wouldn't care if you know uh well, maybe if somebody killed somebody in my family and I watched you do it, and then I don't I probably wouldn't have that same compassion for you. but, but I mean, no, honestly, but this is not murder or nothing that she's committed or nothing like that. And she didn't talk about people, dog people, and all that kind of stuff. But you know what? The hell with that. They ain't number words. Okay. Um, I still wouldn't want to see her fall from her grace that God has given her, but God, and I want to say fall from the grace that God has given her, but God. Maybe, sometimes things go on for a reason, for a sit down and introspection. And maybe that's what's going on with Wendy, is to have her, maybe she had to be set down and have an introspection and go through a little delirium, before she can come back to herself and her senses, her truest self, her best self. Let me put that, but because she's in her senses, but come back to her best self and, you know, be who all that she can be. You know, and so I like seeing, that she was clear, she wasn't drunk. She wasn't saying, "Give me a drink." No, because I remember one time I watched her on television, and kept asking for a drink, you know, um, and she was just having a time of her life, and yeah, it was just a lot going on. But I want to tell you this: there is a lot going on. So a lot of the story is really coming out about Ukraine and Russia, and how Ukraine has gone over there and taken land and confiscated stuff of Russia's, and that really belonged to Russia. And so a lot of the story and a lot of people don't know, and I ain't gonna go deep into it because I don't have the fullness of the story myself to even be able to go deep into it. But I do know that Ukraine had confiscated or their oil or something like that, and this was a long time ago. And it's been or the waterways and stuff. It's been a rift since. But I guess Putin just decided to say, "To heck with this. I'm getting ready to go over and take my shit back." I'm just saying. I'm just saying. You know, um, but he's been willing to come and talk. He requested to talk to Trump. Um, uh, I guess Trump's going to be like a mediator or something, um, between the two countries. But I don't think we should be sending Ukraine any damn money no more. I didn't think we should have sent them any money in the first place. I'm sorry if I pissed somebody off that's Ukrainian watching this. I'm so sorry. But no, we should not be getting involved. No, Ukraine don't get involved with our mess. And we shouldn't be getting involved with Ukraine's mess. I'm just gonna keep it real. Once again, I'm entitled to my opinion. Um, but yeah, it affects all of us because that's our tax dollars that's going over there. Yeah. And we've worked hard and we can't even get our own damn money when we need it. And yet you're sending money somewhere else. So I'm really talking for the people who are here in America, born and raised, and have contributed to such a fund all these years, generationally. And nothing has been awarded back for the amount that has been taken in. And then on top of it, to be a child of an African American and knowing the lineage went back past slavery into greatness, before slavery into greatness. I know I'm a child of greatness. And ancestors. I know I have great ancestors in my lineage. But then to be brought through the slave era and here and have all that of free labor that built this country and everything within it. and still to be treated without the respect and dignity and honor as people of white uh, color and all. It just you know it's high time that you know uh, we stop sending money our tax dollars. We need to fight about that, our tax dollars. Another thing, I know Department of Government Efficiency is going around and trying to make the government efficient. Let's make it really efficient. Let's get people out of the damn VA hospital line and sitting in the VA waiting room to be seen. Let's get the people who need to register for their VA benefits and all that. Let's keep them from having to wait days and weeks and months, if not years. Um, let's stop this long haul process that we have to go through uh, for things like passports and all this kind of crap that takes forever. And some people are just sitting in the office just looking at the damn thing, but our time frame to send it back is like 6 weeks, but yet the damn thing is done in 2 days, or you just wait 6 weeks to do it, and it's just sitting there in a tray on a desk, you know, or in a mailbox, the application, because most of the time you have to print that application out, even if you do it offline, because you got to sign it, and then you got to get a picture to go with it. And so I can't imagine why it takes 6 weeks. I can't imagine why it does that. Let's stop having all these background checks for jobs take forever. And let's stop making people who just retired from their jobs or whatever wait a month, 6 weeks before they can start getting a check of that they've already put into the Social Security Board for. So that's some of the things that they also need to be focusing on, because that makes government more efficient too. The waiting game. What's the extension for? What's all that time frame of wait for? When you got all these damn people that work for the government in these departments and offices, who's doing what? Well, why is there only one person doing all this stuff? I hardly doubted it. So that's some other crap that they need to be working on. You're making it efficient by taking money or whatever and taking money back that people been funded for, and then shutting down agencies and all this kind of stuff. Let's move even better. Let's start doing a little bit more when it comes to the waiting time, the time frame it takes to get certain things that people have applied for months ago. Let's start moving that process up a hell of a lot quicker and sooner. That would help. That's some of the complaints I hear all the time about people, that's in need. And so that's what I look at. That's what we need to be looking at, a lot of stuff where the people are in need. Now, I'm going to say this off of that one, because let me tell you something else. California is getting hit hard. I don't know if you guys heard, but California had two earthquakes back to back. But not only that, they are having flooding right now, mudslides. Cars drifted off into creeks in mud. That's how bad it is. Riverside County, and I got a couple of friends out there in Riverside County. And it hurts me to know that they're being impacted like that and affected like that. And on top of the fire, I'm just saying. But it hurts me to see that they're being impacted like that. It's like, damn, double doom, doom, doom. You got the fire that burned all that. Then you got the heavy rain that's starting to flood, and the mudslide, and the two back-to-back earthquakes. Then we're getting ready to get hit in the Midwest with storms, windstorms, damaging rain, the flooding rains, wind, damaging winds, and flooding rains. Oh, we're gonna get hit big time. And then fire in South Carolina. And then the floods in Kentucky. 10 lives, I think that was the last I heard, was 10 lives were taken from that flood in Kentucky. Which also hit through West Virginia, as well as Tennessee, the border of Tennessee, those little towns in Tennessee at that borderline. It's just, I mean, it's repetitive, and it's more repetitive now than it has ever, ever, ever been. And so I wanna pray for this, because I mean, we're living in these times. We're living in these times. We really are. It's not, it ain't not nice. Um, yeah, it's unreal. So they did say he was ordered to reinstate tens of thousands of fired probationary workers, which that took place today. Uh, uh, so a California judge ordered that. He's not too fond of California right now, or definitely got Gavin Newsom. Okay, or the mayors and all the rest of that crap, but I ain't heard nothing else about her. But I've been hearing stuff about Gavin Newsom still. Lord help the people. And then they spent billions of dollars on the migrants in Chicago, New York, Seattle. Oh, baby, I can go on and on and on and on and on and on to the break of dawn. They've been spending billions. And you got people who are broke, homeless, natives to the towns that haven't gotten help like that. No car, no apartment, no nothing, no food stamps, no nothing. And these people, they came, brought them in, and all these mayors, they sitting up there looking cheesy. Yeah, we did. And all the people, the towns people are saying, how the hell you gonna take care of people like that? Putting them up in 5-star, putting them up in Hiltons and Marriott's. I was livid. I'm like, hold on. You bastards wouldn't even give me my unemployment. And you putting people up that ain't even putting no money into nothing? Money like that? Food stamps, cash. I mean, check, food stamp, the card with cash, a SNAP benefits and cash, hotels for months. A car, gave them everything, identification, everything, renewed country identification, everything. And they're not even citizens. It just didn't make sense. Make it make sense that our states and our local government of people, our towns, our governors, our mayors, all of that, make it make sense that they're spending that kind of money, especially in Chicago. Now, damn well, I'm going to say it about Chicago. That Johnson fella, he's not too, trust me, Mayor Johnson ain't too kind. But I'm going to say it about it because that's my town. That's me. All that money was spent. And I know, because I do a lot of stuff for the homeless myself out of my own pocket, just because I ain't finna showcase. No, I don't feel I have to showcase nothing. I do a lot for the homeless in Chicago. Let me tell you something. And I don't put people on Front Street. Oh, see, this is what I'm doing. I had a couple of people when I was passing out them gift cards and stuff like that to people and bags. I filmed a little bit of it because people, I know I had donors that time That time I had donors, and I just wanted people to see that it was going towards what I say it goes towards, and what was collected. Everybody knew. Um, I wasn't doing no 10%, 11% of what I collect type thing like a lot of the non-for-profits do, who do all this money, millions and billions of dollars of collections, and have been in organizations like that for many of years. And but there's still a large population of homeless people out here. Yeah. Um, I was feeding them, giving clothes, all kind of stuff. You know, um, and it's the population of them and grown, but then you got migrants coming over here and they sleeping at the police station and all this kind of stuff until you get them into hotels, and then you giving them identification and all this. It just don't make sense. It really don't. And I ain't against nobody having a place to stay or nothing like that. But if you're gonna do that, go through the proper channels and make it legit. Don't just allow them to come over here and do whatever, because there was a lot of crime going on in Chicago. I'm just gonna keep it real. There's a lot of damn crime going on, and they were committing it, stealing everything, and the police wasn't messing with them. They literally stole all the beer, Corona, out of one of the grocery stores where I had set up with my business, with my food stand. They had stole all the beer, all of Coronas out of the Jewels, Albertsons brand grocery store, in carts. They cut the thing off the carts in the store. I don't know how the heck they did it, because it's hard, because those carts stop when you get so far. They don't let you go to. Well, they cut the thing off the carts, and then it would get them to the corner, and then, or either they just push it real hard to the corner. Some of them, I don't know what they do, but they had a car waiting, and I'm sitting there watching them. I was sitting up there looking at them, and the security officer of the store couldn't do nothing. They ain't got no gun or nothing else. Then they tell you don't run after. So what you got them there for? You tell them don't run after people, nothing like that. Why are they here? This has been a true comedy to watch what's been going on. A true comedy. Hey, Frugal. And yeah, and I'm just still tripping. I'm still tripping about this. I'm like, wow, this is amazing. And so, yeah, Mayor Johnson, he ain't like too well all the damn money he been passing out and taking care of the migrants, and ain't even taking care of the people in the city. No, no. Well, a couple of them support centers need funding. He ain't doing nothing for that. And the guys are stealing. The guys were raping, and the women came. Well, I know I ain't about nobody, but they were stealing. They were raped. They raped 3 women in Chicago, and they were all Venezuelans. And another thing, the women, I guess they had to eat, so they started prostituting. They were eating because they got real good food stamps. They also got cash. The men or women were able to get license, a vehicle, an apartment, or hotel. When they started getting the apartments ready for them, and then they moved them out of the hotels into the apartment and paid them they rent for a whole year, or either 18 months, something like that. And now a lot of them got jobs in Albertsons, the grocery stores, where they were stealing out of. A lot of them got jobs there. They do the fruit. They're mostly in produce because they don't speak English. It was very rare one of them would speak English. Very rare. And so they mess with the fruit, and they in the back of the store messing with the fruit. You had the chopped up fruit in the bowls that they sell, the cantaloupes, all the melons and stuff like that. Then they had to clean. Well, that's what they say they clean strawberries and blueberries and stuff like that they sell in the containers. That's what they normally do. That's the type of work that they're doing. Then you had a couple of guys that's doing mechanic work, working on cars at a couple of places. So some of them do want to work and do right. That's fine. But the ones committing crime, now they need to go. They need to go. I'm keeping it real. They need to go. It's enough of that shit over here. We don't need no added help. They need to go. That's my take on it. And then you need to take care of the ones that's here first. the ones that's been wanting to do stuff like that. It's a lot of homeless men out here that really do want to work. If they can be consistent like they didn't give these other people consistent jobs, they would be much better off. And they really want to work, but ain't nobody ever wanted to give them a chance. And ain't nobody give them no hotel room and no apartment so they can bathe every day. You know, yeah, very pissed off about Mayor Johnson. And so that's another thing that's been going on. This crap with that. Now they're talking about a shutdown. That government shutdown. But yet, at first, last week, a few days ago, I think they said they had avoided the shutdown. Now they're talking about the damn shutdown in a few days. But Senator Chuck Schumer says he will vote for Republican funding bill, reducing government shutdown odds. So if he votes for it, that's good. Otherwise, you're helping to put up even more people out of work and at a disadvantage. Because then if they shut down, there's still people working for the government that won't have any income. Because when they shut down, they don't pay you. And a lot of the times, you still got to go to work. Through them government shutdown, you still got to go to work. And but you won't get a pay. Now, how is it that you want somebody in the office? Hold on. How is it you want somebody to come to work and work in the office or whatever they do with the government, and then you go through a shutdown, and then you use that as a means of saying that they can't get paid because there's no funding, but there's work to do, but there's no funding. Ooh, baby, bye. But so Chuck Schumer say he will vote for the Republican funding bill, which hopefully will change the course of that, and it won't happen. The shutdown won't happen. This back and forth. Who do you think you are? Well, you who do you think you are doing all of this? Well, same thing, back and forth. Left wing and the right wing belong to the same damn bird. Don't you get it twisted? Because see, all this is a show. Who do you think you are? I'm not doing it. Well, how can you shut down and all this in public eye? But yet you at the same damn golf club. A few hours later, having lunch, chilling, talking about stocks. Hey, it's probably going to be good now. Well, let's see what came down today from all that conversation and stuff we put on, that act we put on, and then let's get this stock. Oh yeah. Oh, this is such a smoke and mirrors. Smoke and mirrors, y'all. So it's like old men who were little boys who didn't, who were either spoiled brats or something, and they're all old damn men, old white men, because they know the black ones in there. That got anything to, or Latino ones in nothing, and they were all little kids who never had, they were spoiled as hell or didn't have, and so when they finally got, it was like mine, all mine, and I'll show you. And who you talking about? Like, because they were talked about if they didn't have as kids so bad or poked on or bullied or something like that. And so now this is their get back. And so, and also now because they're on different sides of the fence, now they argue in front of the public eye, like, hey, let me show you that. But they're like, and then one steps on somebody else's toes and stepped on the toes, and then they get mad. Old man bullshit and old white man bullshit. And I'm just gonna keep it real. Y'all know it. And because you ain't seen no blacks up in there doing none of that. None of that. And then now they like, I'm gonna show you, and let me show you this, and now I got this, and no, I ain't gonna let you have that, even though it might be good to have a spending bill, a funding bill, or whatever, but it might be bad also. I don't know what the hell. But like I said, it really don't affect me. It ain't never affected me like that, honestly, it ain't. So I understand. You know what I'm saying? He never really affected me, but it's good to talk about it because a lot of people are not aware. To be alive and to be alive is to be aware and to be alert and to be apt to know what's going on. But it's just a big game to me, and they all look like old ass little kids wanting to be back and forth. You know what I'm saying? Ooh, Charlie. So Schumer didn't want to appear with all the Democrats as a bad person and also assisting them in making sure that people ain't working or getting paid. And so he's going to vote for it just to prevent the government shutdown. But here's the thing, none of them, left wing or right wing, none of them is going to miss out on paycheck when the government shut down. Neither one of them. They going to get their money. It's the workers, people like me, smaller, not in that top line, that won't get a dime. And then they expect you to come in and work. Sounds like slavery to me. Never stopped. Because once them government shutdowns come around, and what do you expect? Oh yeah, you gotta work. Oh no, but you won't be getting paid. Oh, we'll catch up with your pay. Well, you catch up with the damn work. Don't get it. Stop. Don't get me. Oh, we'll catch it with your pay. Yeah, well, I'll catch it with your work. When you catch up with my pay, that's when I'll catch it with your work. Until then, when you restore my pay, I'll restore coming to work and working. Okay, hold on. What? I don't think so. But that's what's going on. So that's all in the news today, y'all. All in the news. All in the news. Uh it's just been one thing after another. Syrian leader signed a constitution that puts the country under an Islamist group rule for 5 years. Everybody's selling off everybody. It ain't just happening in this country. and, and says 5 years since the pandemic started. Long COVID patients are still hoping for a cure. Because some people have had COVID for a long time and they get rid of it and they can't catch it again and have had it COVID over and over and over and over again. And so that's crazy. Um, St. Patrick's Day weekend is this weekend, everybody. Happy St. Pat's Day to you. Uh, knowing that the genealogy, and I'm part of my cousin, he did it. And it came back, I want to say 28%, if I'm not mistaken, Irish. And with the names in our family stemming back some generations, have been Irish names. And Neela is definitely an Irish name, but it's also definitely an Indian name. So I'm in between. I'm on the cusp. But hold on, wait a minute. Happy St. Patrick's Day to all those who are celebrating and who are Irish. If not Irish, happy St. Patrick's Day to you anyway. If you celebrate, I celebrated in Chicago, and because we have the best parties for St. Patrick's Day, I kid you not, I like the parties they have on St. Patrick's Day. We have great parties. I used to love the corned beef and all that they would have. It would always be good because the parties would always have corned beef sandwiches. It was just corned beef chunks and potatoes with beans and a thing when you go out to the clubs, because it would be a bar hop thing, especially where I grew up. It's a bar hop thing straight back down the road. It's like a mile long bar hop. That's it. Thing, is it a mile? I don't even think it's a mile. I would say maybe a half a mile. But it starts at like 101st and Western, and it goes all the way to 100 and about 100 and yeah, that McNally's is right there, 114th. So it would go to 115th about 115th and Western. So from 101st to 115th, because that's where all the Irish bars are. And it's like hot back to back, back to back. You don't even drive because there's no room because they have the streets blocked off. So you just walking. And it's fun. It was always fun, back in the day. When I was partying like that, it was really fun. So I enjoyed it. And it was a great celebration. And it would be a bunch of whites, a bunch of blacks, and we would all be celebrating. And it was never no fighting and all that ignorant hate and all that crap. It was just a celebration once again. But it is that time, people. That's in the news. Neela in the news. I'm hoping that they do end that war, Russia and Ukraine. Um, uh, a company that gets 88% of its money from the U.S. government. Mm. And I bet you can't even use their services. That is another thing we need to start seeing about this money that the government is paying out that comes basically because of all the tax paying citizens here. About all these companies that get funded from the government. Why are they in business and we can't access them and have them be serviced by them for very nil because they're already getting our tax dollar. Yeah. Like some of these law firms and stuff like that might be getting some of that tax dollar funding and stuff too. We got to look into all this. Look into all this. Um, so the last thing I'm gonna say is, um, for those who are here because they were born here, but their parents are from another country, um, President Trump has already asked the Supreme Court to allow him to end birthright citizenship. They are very much most likely going to support him. They're all in their pockets. So and people that have people here who've been born here but don't living in the parents came from another country, they might end that. They might get the right to do that. He might get the right to do that. So I just want you guys to be prepared for that and get to knowing that and try to make life for yourself somewhere else outside this country because that's probably how it's going to be. You know, and that's that. To God be the glory. Everybody, let's blow out and pray over everything that people may be stressing out today. So let's blow out. There's so much going on. Let's take a deep breath in on just life itself, living without stress. Inhale on that, and we're going to exhale on stress less. To God be the glory. And that's that. And I'm going to go into prayer, okay? Let's inhale on living without stress and exhale on stress less. To God be the glory. Inhale, exhale. Take another inhale on stress less. To God be the glory. And when we exhale on stress less. To God be the glory. Inhale on stress free. Stress less and stress, I'm sorry, stress less. Inhale and exhale on stress free. To God be the glory. Okay, stress less, inhale on, meaning you want less stress, and exhale on stress free. To God be the glory. Inhale again, exhale. Take one more deep breath. Inhale, exhale. Lord, thank you for another glorious, grand day. And we're just in awe and just admire you for your glory, and we just love the life that you give us today to be able to breathe and move around and see and hear and feel. Lord, we're just grateful for the guidance, the deliverance, the protection, the healing that has taken place in our lives and the lives of our family members and our loved ones. Lord, we thank you for this glorious day that has now come tonight upon us all. And we just ask that you continue to keep watch over us and protect us and lift us up above all things that can be harmful and deplorable upon all people on this planet. Lord, we thank you for this day, and our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Lord, give us this day our daily bread, and you have thus far, and we're forever grateful. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from all evil. For thine is the kingdom and the power and the glory forever and ever. And forgive us our trespasses as we forgive those who trespassed against us, because we know how that is. There's never going to be an eye for an eye. It shouldn't be. Sometimes you just got to walk away from things and just, God bless them, and meaning it. Not, oh, God bless you, that type of sarcasm, but God is good all the time, because everything that goes on, though it seems and appears to be bad and it hurts and harms you sometimes in a way, but there's a learning lesson in everything that goes on, a learning lesson. Don't ever get it twisted. Nothing happens by happenstance. Nothing. I don't care. I don't care how you look at it. Nothing happens by happenstance. So remember, I said that. And if you don't know it, now you know it. Okay. To God be the glory. Amen, amen, amen. Everybody, I'll see you guys Monday night. I'm looking at bringing a group on Monday, hopefully. But they just got back from a cruise. I was chatting with the manager and all last night on Messenger, and I want them to get their rest or whatever, because they've been on a long cruise. Also, I think that I had referred them over to Michael Collier's show, and I think they're going to be on his show real soon as well. They might be Monday as well. I don't know, but I'm gonna see if I can get them on Monday. If not, then I'm gonna try to bring them on one day next week and just give us a little lowdown about their adventure on the seas, on the water, on that cruise, because they did perform. And so I would like to know what went on, what's in store, how they've been doing. It's not a retake, but an update on them. They've been on the show before, so let's keep and say, let Neela get them on the show next week. Let Neela get them on the show next week. But in the meantime, in the between time, I'll see you guys Monday, 7:15 p.m. Central, 8:15 p.m. Eastern, 5:15 p.m. Pacific, or 6:15 p.m. Mountains. And also for those who are watching in other countries, like over in Europe, the UK, I want to say hey, Fegs and all of y'all. I also want to say hey to LinkedIn. I will see you guys next week. Monday, there is no show on Fridays and Saturdays and Sundays, never has been. But I will see you guys on Monday, and we'll see you then. Don't forget to reach back and give back. Somebody out there needs your smile. Somebody needs to hear some kind words from you. Somebody might need a bag of chips, a bottle of water, just an ear to hear. Whatever the Spirit has placed upon your heart, by all means, let it depart. Just let it go. That's it. That's all. And I wish all of you well, and happy weekend, and happy St. Patrick's Day again to you, and happy Women's Month to all us women. Thank you very much. Happy Women's Month to you all. That's what I forgot to tell you. This is the month, the Women's Month celebration. This is when we celebrate women, though we should be celebrated every day of our lives, because we bring life up to the forefront. So let's celebrate women this month. Great women and women that maybe weren't all that great, but still celebrate them anyway, because you just never know what a person's going through. So to God be the glory. I'll see you guys Monday. Don't forget, be there, be what? Square. Boop. See you then. Bye, y'all. I got my salad to go eat.